In a stunning announcement that marks a pivotal moment in spaceflight history, SpaceX is preparing to bid farewell to its legendary Falcon rockets and Dragon spacecraft. At the Barron Investment Conference in New York, Gwynne Shotwell dropped a bombshell that's sending shockwaves through the aerospace industry. SpaceX plans to phase out its entire current fleet by 2030, making way for something far more ambitious. The future of space travel isn't just evolving, it's transforming entirely. While the Falcon 9 has already achieved an impressive milestone of 400 successful launches, its successor is poised to match this achievement in just a fraction of the time. The replacement, the revolutionary Starship system, a fully reusable spacecraft that promises to reshape our approach to space exploration. This isn't just another rocket upgrade. It's a complete paradigm shift in how we access space. SpaceX is betting big on Starship's capability to not only match but dramatically surpass the Falcon family's capabilities, all while slashing launch costs to unprecedented levels. With NASA already anticipating bi-weekly Starship launches starting in 2025, the timeline for this historic transition is closer than many might think. Welcome to Elon Musk 24 Hours, where we bring you the latest developments in the world of SpaceX and its visionary projects. Let's dive right in. The clock struck midnight at SpaceX's headquarters in Hawthorne, California. Engineers huddled around their screens, watching telemetry data stream in from yet another successful Falcon 9 landing. This scene, once considered miraculous, has become routine, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. But in the background, something bigger was brewing, something that would change everything. When Gwynne Shotwell took the stage at the Barron Investment Conference in New York, the room fell silent. The woman who had helped guide SpaceX from a startup dreaming of Mars to a cornerstone of the global space industry was about to announce the end of an era. Starship obsoletes Falcon 9 and the Dragon capsule, she declared, her voice carrying both the weight of history and the promise of tomorrow. The legacy of innovation. Think back to 2008, when SpaceX's first 3 launches had ended in failure. Critics said private companies couldn't succeed in space. They said landing rockets was impossible. They said reusability was a pipe dream. Today, those same critics watch in silence as Falcon 9 rockets routinely touch down on landing pads and drone ships, having completed their missions with ballet-like precision. Sarah Martinez, a propulsion engineer who's been with SpaceX since those early days, remembers the first successful landing. "We were all holding our breath," she recalls, her voice still carrying the emotion of that moment. "When those landing legs deployed and the rocket touched down, I saw veteran engineers crying. That's when we knew everything was about to change." And change it did. 400 successful launches later, the Falcon 9 has transformed from an underdog to the most reliable rocket in history. But in the world of SpaceX, even success isn't enough. They're already looking toward the next revolution, the birth of a giant. Deep in the heart of Texas, against the backdrop of swaying grass and Gulf Coast winds, stands a testament to human ambition, Starship. Rising 394 feet into the sky, when paired with its super-heavy booster, it's not just the largest rocket ever built. It's a bridge to humanity's future among the stars. The transition from Falcon to Starship isn't just the upgrade. It's a quantum leap. Imagine the Wright brothers' first flight at Kitty Hawk being replaced not by a better propeller plane, but by a supersonic jet. That's the scale of change we're talking about, the economics of revolution. But this story isn't just about size and power, it's about economics. Currently, a Falcon 9 launch costs around $15 million, with $10 million spent on the expendable second stage. This was revolutionary when first introduced, slashing launch costs to a fraction of what competitors charge. But SpaceX sees this as just the beginning. Starship promises to reduce these costs even further, potentially to as little as $1 million per launch. This isn't just an incremental improvement, it's a transformation that could unlock entirely new industries and possibilities. When you reduce launch costs by that much, explains Dr. James Chen, a space economy expert at MIT, you're not just making existing markets more efficient, you're creating entirely new markets that weren't possible before. The human element behind these numbers are stories, thousands of them, like Mike Rodriguez, a recovery team leader who's been catching Falcon 9 boosters for the past 5 years. Each landing is still exciting, he says, but Starship? That's something else entirely. Watching that massive vehicle come down, knowing it could carry hundreds of people to Mars someday, it gives me goosebumps every time. The military's secret interest, in a surprising twist, the US military has taken notice of Starship's potential. General Stephen Lyon's vision of moving C-17-sized payloads anywhere on Earth in under an hour isn't just a military capability, it's a revolution in global logistics. Think about humanitarian aid, says Colonel Maria Thompson. When a natural disaster strikes, every hour counts. With Starship, we could deliver critical supplies anywhere on Earth in less time than it takes to watch a movie. The Mars connection. But perhaps the most profound aspect of this transition lies in its ultimate goal, Mars. Elon Musk's vision of a self-sustaining city on the red planet isn't just ambitious, it's a beacon of hope for humanity's future. The numbers are staggering: 1 million tons of equipment, a price tag potentially exceeding $1 trillion. But break it down over 40 years and suddenly the impossible starts to look achievable. Dr. Elena Petrova, a Mars colonization expert, puts it in perspective. When people hear these numbers, they think it's crazy. But remember, humans once thought crossing oceans was impossible. The pyramids were impossible. Landing on the moon was impossible. SpaceX isn't just building rockets. They're building the impossible. The challenge of trust. Yet this transition faces significant hurdles. The space industry is inherently conservative, and for good reason. Each satellite represents years of work and millions of dollars. Carol Zhang, CEO of a major satellite manufacturer, explains, "Falcon 9 is like a trusted friend. We know it works. Starship needs to prove itself just as reliable, if not more so. But if anyone can do it, it's SpaceX." A new era of global travel. While Mars captures headlines, Starship's potential for Earth-to-Earth transportation could revolutionize life on our own planet. Imagine boarding in New York and landing in Tokyo 45 minutes later. This isn't science fiction, it's SpaceX's near-term goal. The psychological impact would be enormous, says Dr. Robert Hayes, a transportation psychologist. When you can reach any point on Earth in under an hour, our whole concept of distance and separation changes. It's not just about travel time, it's about bringing humanity closer together. The environmental question. In an age of climate consciousness, SpaceX isn't ignoring environmental concerns. Starship's methane engines are designed to be carbon neutral when using renewable energy for fuel production. We're not just thinking about getting to Mars, explains Dr. Lisa Chen, SpaceX's environmental systems lead. We're thinking about protecting the Earth we have. The financial revolution. The numbers tell a compelling story. Shotwell's prediction of SpaceX reaching a $2.5 trillion valuation might seem bold, but it's grounded in tangible achievements. Starlink, with its growing subscriber base of over 4 million users, is already generating significant revenue. Ron Barron's projection of SpaceX's valuation tripling within 5 years reflects growing confidence in this vision. But even these astronomical numbers might underestimate Starship's potential impact. We're not just looking at a new company or a new industry, explains financial analyst David Park. We're looking at the creation of an entirely new economy, a space economy that could dwarf everything we've built on Earth. The race against time. As the 2030 deadline approaches, the pace of development is intensifying. Engineers work around the clock, testing systems, improving designs, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Each test flight brings new lessons, new challenges, and new breakthroughs. It's not just about building a bigger rocket, says Tom Chen, lead Starship engineer. It's about building a future where humanity isn't confined to one planet. Every problem we solve, every system we improve, brings that future a little closer. Preserving history. Even as SpaceX looks to the future, they're conscious of preserving their history. Plans are already in place to preserve significant Falcon 9 boosters in museums. These vehicles change the world, explains Dr. Sarah Thompson, space historian. They proved that reusability wasn't just possible, it was essential. They showed that space wasn't just for government agencies. They opened the door for everything that's coming next. The road ahead. The FAA's approval for up to 25 Starship launches per year marks the beginning of an intense testing and development phase. Each launch brings new data, new insights, and new possibilities. The end of the Falcon era isn't just the conclusion of one chapter in spaceflight history, it's the opening of an entirely new book. As night falls over SpaceX's Starbase facility in Texas, the massive silhouette of Starship stands against the stars. Engineers continue their work, knowing that each day brings us closer to a future that once seemed impossible. The transition from Falcon to Starship isn't just about replacing one rocket with another. It's about taking everything humanity has learned about spaceflight and using it to build something revolutionary. A future without limits. The sun rises over Cape Canaveral, where a Falcon 9 stands ready for another mission. Soon, these launches will be part of history, replaced by something even more extraordinary. But the spirit of innovation, the drive to push boundaries, the dream of making humanity multiplanetary, that will never change. As Shotwell said at the conclusion of her presentation, what we're doing here isn't just about building better rockets. It's about building a better future. The end of Falcon isn't an ending at all. It's a beginning, and what comes next will change everything. Looking at Starship gleaming in the Texas sun, it's hard not to feel that we're standing on the brink of something extraordinary. The next chapter in human spaceflight is about to begin, and it promises to be more exciting, more ambitious, and more consequential than anything that's come before. The future isn't just coming, it's already here. As we stand at this pivotal moment in spaceflight history, SpaceX's bold move to retire the Falcon family marks more than just a change in hardware. It represents humanity's next great leap toward the stars. With Starship's projected cost of just $10 million per launch and its groundbreaking reusability, we're not just watching a company evolve. We're witnessing the dawn of true space commercialization. What started with Falcon 9's revolutionary landings will culminate in Starship's ability to transform our relationship with space itself. As Gwynne Shotwell envisions SpaceX reaching a $2.5 trillion valuation, driven by both Starlink's success and Starship's potential, we're seeing the economics of space travel fundamentally transform before our eyes. Your thoughts on this historic transition matter. Will Starship fully replace the Falcon rocket line and Dragon within this ambitious timeline? Share your perspective in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest developments in SpaceX's journey to revolutionize space travel. Join our growing community here at Elon Musk 24 Hours, where we bring you the most exciting updates from the front lines of space innovation. Remember to like this video if you found it informative, and hit that notification bell to never miss our upcoming coverage of SpaceX's groundbreaking achievements. Until next time, keep looking up. The future is closer than you think. Breaking news from Blue Origin's latest launch. On February 4th, Jeff Bezos' space company achieved what seemed like a perfect launch of their new Shepard rocket. The company proudly shared stunning footage across social media, the graceful liftoff, the precise separation, and the impressive landing. But eagle-eyed space enthusiasts noticed something peculiar. Crucial moments were mysteriously missing from the highlight reel. As the dust settled in the West Texas desert that day, Blue Origin's 29th mission had indeed made history, but not entirely in the way they'd planned. Their new Shepard spacecraft had successfully completed its most ambitious feat yet, spinning at unprecedented speeds to simulate lunar gravity. Yet beneath this triumph lay an untold story. You see, while Blue Origin celebrated their achievement, they quietly omitted a significant detail from their public presentations. During the landing phase, one of the capsule's main parachutes encountered difficulties, a critical moment that was conspicuously absent from their official video recap. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this launch, exploring not just what was shown, but more importantly, what wasn't. We'll analyze the technical challenges, compare this to similar incidents across the space industry, and examine why transparency in space exploration matters more than ever. Welcome to Elon Musk 24 Hours.